Hello there and welcome to Black Jackal Gaming. We're going to take a look at the Angelic Inheritors Detachment, which is the Christmas Blood Angels Detachment as part of Grotty. So it's a very restrictive detachment rule. You've got to have certain characters there to activate. It could be powerful at times where it is a little bit on the niche side. The enhancements are decent enough and we'll see some play. And the stratagems look pretty good as well. But the nerf to armor contempt does hurt Blood Angels. But then again, Sanguinary Guard, they're down in points, so let's take a look. So the detachment rule is called Legacy of the Angel. And what this does is at the start of the first battle round, you can select 2 of the Angelic Legacy abilities. And to the end of the battle, those Legacy abilities are active and apply to all Adeptus Astartes character units from your army. The first one is Sanguinary Grace. This allows the unit to be eligible to shoot and declare a charge in a turn when it's fallen back. Next we have Carmine Wrath. Each time a model in this unit makes an attack, reroll a hit roll of 1 and reroll a wound roll of 1. So this is both, not either or, which is quite nice. And finally we have Their Appointed Hour. You can reroll advancing charge rolls made for this unit. So quite good. You get to choose 2 of the 3, and you're probably going to go for the reroll charge rolls as well as the reroll ones to hit and wound. So looking at the enhancements, first up we got Prescient Flash. This is 20 points. This is for an Astartes model only. Models in the bearer's unit have the scout 6 inches ability, so that's quite nice. Before the first battle round you get to move 6 inches. Then we have Troubling Visions for 15 points. This is for the model only. Once per battle in your command phase, the bearer can use this enhancement. When it does until the start of the next command phase, all Angelic Legacy abilities are active for the bearer's unit. This is instead of only 2 of them being active. Next we have Blazing Icon, 20 points. This is for infantry model only. Enemy units cannot use the Fire Overwatch stratagem to shoot at this bearer's unit, so quite a nice little enhancement there, especially for 20 points. And finally we have Ordained Sacrifice. This is 25 points. It's for models only again. The first time the bearer is destroyed, you can roll a d6, and on a 2+ at the end of the phase, you set them back up on the battlefield as close to possible as where they died. Now this cannot be in engagement range of 1 or more enemy units, and it will spawn with 3 wounds remaining, so not too bad. Looking at the stratagems, first we have Focus Fury. This is in the fight phase, and this is for one of your units that's not been selected to fight yet. And to the end of the phase, all melee weapons in your unit have the Lethal Hits ability. And on top of this, if it's a character unit, so if it's led by a character, the weapon then has the Lance ability as well, giving you that +1 to wound. Very nice 1 CP stratagem. Then we have Striking Out for Glory. This is your shooting phase, and this is for a unit that has not been selected to shoot so far. To the end of the phase, ranged weapons equipped by this model's unit, they gain sustain hits 1. Now it's quite nice this because you don't have to be the character unit, it can be any unit in your army. Then we have Instant of Grace. This is in your command phase, and this is for 1 infantry unit. You can select 1 non-character model on your unit, and to the start of the next command phase, your model has the character keyword. What this allows you to do, because it doesn't sound that great out of the box, but what this means is that the unit then gains the character keyword, so you can then access the detachment rules. As well as this, you can use the stratagems that allow you to have a buff based on having a character in your unit. So there's times in the game when it might come in quite clutch if you've had a leader sniped, or you do have a leaderless unit that just needs that little bit extra oomph in its shooting or melee with that rerolls of 1s, or if you do need it to guarantee getting on an objective, then you've got that reroll to the advance roll, or if you want to guarantee that it's going to get into a charge, you've got that reroll to the charge roll as well. Then we have Unto the Burning Skies. This is at the end of your opponent's fight phase, and this is for a jump pack unit in your army. It cannot be in engagement range of an enemy unit, and it also cannot be the Sanguinor. This allows you to remove this unit from the battlefield and place it into strategic reserves. So basically, your basic uppy downy there for 1 CP, which is quite nice. And because it is a jump pack unit, you are looking at your Assault Intercessors with jump packs, your Death Company with jump packs, and your Sanguinary Guard as well. Don't forget you've also got the other ones such as the Inceptors and Suppressors that also are able to do this. Then we have In the Shadow of Great Wings. This is your opponent's shooting base just after they've selected a target. Now for this, you have to select a character unit, so it has to be either an individual character or a unit that's being led by a character. And until the end of the phase, your unit, when selected, has to be within 18 inches to be attacked. So it basically gives it quite a strong lone operative, which is quite nice, especially for 1 CP. So in conclusion, looking at what we've had so far, the reroll to hit and wounds of 1s is really powerful. It's an incredibly good detachment rule, especially when you get another bonus on that. You get the reroll with charges, which does come with the advanced rolls as well, but it's the charges which is the important one there. But it might not quite be as good as the +1 attack, +2 strength that you get with the other detachment for Blood Angels, as this is restricted to character units, so you might not see as much flexibility out of this. It's going to be very straightforward, your style of play, and people are going to expect certain units to be the ones that carry your army for its damage output based just on the fact that they're the ones that can be targeted for your buffs. Now it's probably going to be quite strong in casual play, and casual play has a little bit more variation on what's taken, and it often isn't just the meta. These 3 best units are going to be taken ×3 and maximizing efficiency. It is a little bit more fun, and you will see probably a fair bit of this in casual play because it does seem a very thematic detachment. But if you're taking it to tournament play, it is going to do well into some matchups, but there's going to be a little bit of difficulty getting some consistency out of it, especially across 6 to 8 games. The good thing though is that the characters are relatively on the cheap side, and they hit really hard in Blood Angels, and you do have a lot of options to choose from, so you're never going to be in the position where you look at what characters you got available and what enhancements you got available and just go, these are all terrible, because the enhancements are quite good and the character's good as well. Now the strategy to grant your unit the character keyword, it seems a bit steep, because if you do want to activate another stratagem, it is going to cost you that 1 CP as well. It would be nice if they had a little bit bonus on top of this. If you are using a stratagem, you get a further buff on top, just something along those lines. To use 2 CP to have your standard stratagem that's only going to cost 1 elsewhere seems a bit on the strange side, really, but it is really just there to activate the detachment rule. It's going to be very niche, and you might see it every couple of games or so, just maybe in the final turn when you need to guarantee some point scoring. So just looking at a couple of extra things like what could go well, such as the Sanguinary Guard. They have had the points drop, so they are coming in a little bit cheaper now, and if you put them with the Captain, that's quite good because you are getting the rerolls of 1s to hit and wound, which is really nice. You also do have the reroll to hits fully into your Oaths of Moment target still, because they are a Space Marine unit. You do not get the +1, unfortunately, that Codex Space Marines gets. But when you're combining this with your ability to reroll charges and advances, it's quite a nice little buff to have. You've also got the Captain there, so you get the reduced CP. So all these new stratagems are going to cost you 0 CP when you want to use them once a battle round, which is quite nice. Especially when you can give yourself lethal hits in melee, and you will get your lance now on the blades as well. Lance is already on the spears, but since you've got a character in the unit, this stratagem will give you on the blades as well. So a nice little buff there to get lethal hits and the +1 to wound. You can also give them the Cheeky Blazing Icon enhancement to your Captain. This allows you to turn off Overwatch, so you're going to have a lot less firepower coming in, especially if you're going to be deep striking. It's going to allow you to come into a position where you might have taken a lot of damage coming in, but now that you can turn this off, you might be able to position slightly better to make your charges into units maybe a little bit more efficient, or target the units that you actually want to go into rather than bringing it down elsewhere, because you know you might take some firepower, so you go into your secondary target instead. Then as well as this, you do have the Unto Burning Skies, which allows you to pop back up in Strategic Reserve. That's your uppy downy stratagem, again for 1 CP, which you can put down to 0 CP. So it gives you a lot of movement shenanigans and flexibility. Then you can have that reroll to your advances and your charges, and you do have the ability to go back up into the sky. It's going to make this unit quite a threat. That's it, guys. If you liked the video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel to see all future content. Take it easy, and I'll see you next time.